your smile. Like the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down. 'Cause with you I'm safe and sound. 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 Safe and
Oh, we're
that?
on.
Oh no!
And welcome to the stream. I don't know if the Void is going to be chatting too much today, but I am here today. It's Jay Real coming at you live for some play-by-play action as we do go into our first playoffs game. It is going to be definitely not washed up, taking on Extreme Esports. Definitely washed up, going to take on the blue side. And as you can see, I'm joined by Mr. Gizmo himself, the color caster for today, to take us through.
Thank you. Honestly, it's going to be an exciting game. These teams are we're very close in the standings, right? And both of them having great games against our top two teams, Among Us and Bees. So I'm expecting this game to be like a complete bloodbath. And honestly, it should be a great series.
Yeah, it should be a great series indeed. As you said, it's both these teams have kind of had really good end of the seasons. They've been looking strong throughout the season. They came in with very similar records to each other. I think it's 5-3-3 for, I believe, Extreme, and then definitely not washed up was 5-4-2. So it's really close. There's literally a point separating the two teams. They played against each other. They went even. So it's all going down today. There can only be one winner in this playoff stage. Who will take it? It's up for grabs.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, these two teams, I think I called it a while ago. I expect one of these to make it maybe to the finals even, based off their recent performances. They have been scaling up heavily towards this point and going to playoffs. I think they're both on probably the best form they've been in.
Yeah, and especially with some of those recent results, as you said, the Among Us win, the Bumblebee team win as well. Like, these are top teams that looked kind of unbeatable. They looked really strong at the top, but they have lost. They do bleed. And maybe one of these teams, as you said, could go to the final. It is definitely there in their hands, but they have to win today. They have to pick up those dubs. It's a 3-game series, 2 to win it all, as we do go into the first pick and ban. The Kane band away. And you told me a little bit about this before we went live.
Yeah, definitely washed up. They have probably I've been told one of the best Kane players EUS. So no surprise then. When he's had that Kane, he's looked pretty unstoppable on it. Just pretty much just solo carrying games on it. So seeing that getting taken away, not too much of a surprise, but happy to see. Obviously, the Graves ban definitely washed up. Their jungler plays a lot of Graves, so get rid of that. Tryndamere, very strong mid pick at the moment. People are calling it Z tier, which is above S tier. If you haven't heard that before, and honestly, get rid of that champion. Honestly, I hate it. Going invulnerable. Who needs that?
Yeah, it is a little bit like, okay, we're gonna kill Tryndamere. Okay, we're not gonna kill Tryndamere. He's just gonna, walk away or kill us. It's a bit annoying. Katarina, they banned away Rakan as well, and then we do have the Bard. And yeah, Tryndamere mid, definitely a bit of a weird one, but at the same time, Zed jungle. Things have changed on the Rift.
Yeah, I mean, the patches keep coming and keep changing the meta constantly, and I'm looking forward to Worlds alone, just based off of this meta. Zed completely and utterly broken in the jungle, same as Talon. So maybe we'll see that come out today. I think Extreme have played one of those before, off the top of my head, I think. Instead, we're just going to see Xin. Xin, obviously, strong pick if you haven't been playing the game this season. It might be a surprise to see him, but otherwise, it's pretty commonplace pick.
Yeah, indeed. I think Xin and Trundle have had some really standout moments this season, and it's kind of nice to see because I feel like previous to this season, they kind of just been left in the dark. They've not been the greatest. So it is nice to see a bit of fresh blood in the jungle meta, and the Jarvan there being hovered has seen a bit of a rise in popularity as well. I think early jungling has just become a bit more of a preference, especially with things like Xin being so popular.
Yeah, the ability to gank so early on as well on J4, the cheese level 2 gank, everyone calls it, but if you get that off in a competitive game, not only can you tilt the enemy laner, but you've got such a massive lead, and it can really snowball early leads. And J4 obviously really well with quite common combos we see now, the MF and Mumu and that sort of thing, so hopefully we'll see something like that come through as well.
Yeah, and talking about Mumu as a new pick, meta's changing, has become such a popular support, but we're not going to see it
Set.
just yet. Set there being locked in, which could be support Set, but it could also be the early top lane pick.
Yeah, Extreme played it last week. Yeah, FaZe Rush set support with the Tristan and really stomped last game. And I think their bot lane was the carrying point for them, and it was truly and utterly disgusting. I will say. Lucian, are we going to see Nami comboed with that?
Yeah, it has become pretty popular. I thought Brom would give Lucian the buff, but apparently it doesn't work out. So things like Nami, the enchanters, they definitely do work a bit better. Lucian being locked in there. I'm interested to see if they do go for bot lane. Obviously, there is still that potential to send it mid, but I do think that recently it's kind of shifted back to the original ADC position.
Yeah, so some big nerfs coming through for the mid lane. I would expect it to go bot, but we're seeing Thresh obviously. I guess they're scared of that set coming bot side. Nami probably not doing the best, having to. Obviously, if he gets jumped on, it's pretty doomed as an enchanter. That's probably your worst fear. So, taking a Thresh, giving the Lantern for Lucian, obviously helps as well when they got the J4. So, quite a safe bot lane that they're picking up. An instant Camille pick. Ooh, I love to see that. How are you? Has played this a lot, I will say. I think it's pretty much one of his majority picks, you know. So that'd be interesting. I think they'll have to take away the Fiora on the side of Definitely Washed Up, because in their last series they sort of got gapped against that Fiora. So should probably take that away with the ban.
Yeah, big time. I did look up that one, and the Fiora did look pretty insane. Camille this early, though, I am a little bit surprised. Obviously, normally teams like to hold that top lane pick till later on. They even have the counter pick. I also don't love it because they picked Set so early. Now, obviously, Set could be going into the mid lane if possible, but that is unlikely. But you've kind of now given away that it is most likely Set support, and the rest of the team can be played around it. And now you've even got the counter pick into Camille, which I feel like is a little bit risky from the side of Extreme, but maybe they really want to play around their bot side. They really want to give priority, so they do just want to hold that pick for a little bit later. But we do see the Jax banned away, and the Kassadin also removed by Definitely Not Washed Up.
Yeah, Extreme playing the Kassadin previously, just going for that scaling mid laner, but I don't think the set can really go mid here, because I don't think they play any AP bot lane carries on the side of Extreme. So I feel like if you do put it there, you're going to have to run a full AD team comp. So sort of scary. Fiora taken away, obviously. Big Camille counter, so I wonder what Definitely is not going to take into that matchup to really punish this early Camille pick, because it is a scary pick early on.
Yeah, and I will say, obviously, full AD, not optimal, but at the same time, if you haven't picked up any tanks, then it's not going to really matter too much. Xin Zhao, not exactly the greatest tank, neither is Thresh, and if you want to pick something like Ornn, you're kind of crazy because Camille will absolutely shred you. So I do think that they maybe have a little bit of flexibility. Also, Vayne still on the board as well. There are ways to get around having all AD that don't necessarily mean that you have to go for the AP bot.
Tristan, yeah. So I think they're going to run Tristana set bot lane again. Very strong, really performed well in the last game. I think they might be saving their last pick for maybe a Galio. I think that would work well with their team comp so far. Offers a lot of appeal to their ADCs who's going to be diving in and out. Obviously, really insane combo with Camille or J4. But obviously can be punished quite easily in the mid lane, so you have to take it into the right champions. So maybe that's what they're thinking of keeping it for, or maybe they just want to go for that full meaty mage mid laner.
Yeah, or they might be throwing Tristana mid. You know, you never. It's always a possibility. I don't think it would be as good. I do think the Tristana set would be a really nice lane to watch, and Galio could be really nice. And I do agree with you. I think the fact that Lucian is on the board it could still pivot into mid, as they are going to show the Azir. It's very unlikely, but if they did lock in Galio, maybe they do a quick switch, or obviously with the rise of AD Assassins, there's always that potential. But Azir is going to be locked in there, but definitely not. And it's a pretty good pick. It's a lot of late game scaling. They are kind of setting themselves up. They've also got a nice bit of protection for Lucian, so those champions that are diving in may have a little bit less of a good time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it really punishes the dive comp that Extreme have drafted so far, and the Azir can just play back or go for that montage clip. Poppy, oh, I love Pop. That's a hard one to see. Extreme just okay. So Poppy pretty much counters every single dive that they've got. Every champ is looking for that jump in, and Poppy just goes, "Nope, I'm sorry, not today. Bye bye." That W is actually nuts on Poppy. Grams them. Instantly makes them knock up. You could also E combo with the R to knock people away and objective control. So far, definitely washed up. Looking like they got the better of this draft, in my opinion.
Yeah, the Poppy comes through clutch, and they've just thrown another one in there. LeBlanc with the distortion. Won't stop her getting away, but it will definitely stop her going in. And Poppy feels like the S tier pick into this comp.
Yeah, I mean, Extreme really going for those dashes, and I don't think they're going to be going pretty much anywhere with them if Poppy's around. So, pretty scary pick. I would have preferred something else other than LeBlanc. I gotta say, Poppy, an insane choice from them here. You banned out all the rest of the champs for their top lane to play, and they went, "Don't worry, we've got this pick that just counters your whole comp. It's fine. It's fine. Enjoy it." Insanely well drafted there. Not by Lotus. Yeah, definitely not washed up. It's insanely well drafted, in my opinion. Really holding the power picks from behind and really letting them come through at the right points. They've got the Azir to shred through the tanks, and then the Poppy that just locks up pretty much all they engage.
Yeah, and it allows you to give more focus onto that bottom lane as well, because obviously the Lucian, you want him to get ahead. I don't think he falls off as much as he used to, but at the same time, he's never going to be the late game champ. So getting him ahead would be great. It'd also really smother the Tristana lane and potentially make the set not particularly useful. And as you said, Bayolan, with this Poppy pick, it's going to be big trouble now for them if they can't get that clean engage. And there is a big potential where the Steadfast Presence just stops everything in a team fight, meaning that definitely Wash Up gets some time to basically hit them for free, and Extreme kind of just have to survive that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only person who can actually go in is the Set, right? Because Set's R is unstoppable, so he's the only one who can get through that Poppy Unbreakable. I don't know if it's Unbreakable. He's the only one who can get through that, so at that point then, the Poppy is just a massive pick, but if she uses that W in the wrong place and it expires, all of a sudden it's go for Extreme, and they can just dive straight through. So it's about timing. Timing on this Poppy is going to be massive, and then obviously then they've got the Thresh for security, safety, and then the Azir just to throw them all back at them. So it's quite a hard comp that Extreme have drafted in this first game, and I gotta say, a definite wash up, looking like they've done their research, they've looked at their comps, and it's paid off pretty well for them.
Yeah, and it's a sentiment where obviously Steadfast Presence does have quite a long cooldown. It is like 18 seconds, I think, maybe level 1. So it's not something that is going to be just up permanently in a team fight. They could potentially wait it out. As you said, if Poppy uses it a little bit early, then there's that problem of, okay, now we don't have it. They're open to jump in. I guess it depends on where you want to run, who you want to jump in first. Like, because you could go and stagger it where you say, okay, Jarvan's going to leap in first. I believe it only stops one. So if he got stopped on the flag and drag, maybe he can then Cataclysm over the top. Or similar with Camille, if you hook shot, you could then potentially use your Hextech Ultimatum. And that would then open up the floor to maybe like having that initial engage come through, let the Steadfast Presence drop, and then people like LeBlanc can come through to try and one-shot the backline.
Yeah, I mean, I think they get grounded for slightly after, so I don't think he can use those ones because of the change that they made to it. But if the Poppy uses it wrong, then it does open up the floodgates for everything. And I mean, yes, it does stop a lot, but how many abilities do they need to like? Is their whole kit reliant on this dive? I mean, you've got the Set that can jump in, but the Tristana at the back line doesn't have to jump in. The LeBlanc can just throw out her Q, E's and use Alt E instead, saving that distortion maybe to get away from the Poppy E engage. So maybe they have to play this comp backwards instead of playing it aggressively here, because the way that if the Poppy plays this correctly, their aggressive isn't going to work properly. And you also then got the Xin Zhao ult that can also knock them out, you know? So if they're coming in Xin just knocks him out even more, and then you got Poppy ult to knock him out as a zero ult. Like it's just one comp going, I want to come in, them going, nope, get away. Like it's a pretty insane draft that they've done.
Yeah, it's definitely a strong battle of positioning. Will they be able to get onto that backline? Will they be forced away? It is going to be a big question that you can ask. But right now, the betting has been opened. You guys can bet all your channel points, or actually up to 1,000 channel points, on which team you think is going to take the trophy, who is going to win game one and set themselves up one step closer to taking the whole series. And let us know. It is !bet, then you say red or blue, and then the number that you want to bet, anywhere between 25 and 8,000 to get that one done. So let us know in chat who you guys think is going to win, as we can talk a little bit more about this comp. And I will say, looking at the comps, where are you expecting the junglers to really path? Because obviously we talked about the bot lane being really strong for Extreme, and definitely not have kind of put Poppy on a bit of a weak side.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely got to go to the spot side as the Jarvan, right? Unless if this Tristana can get an early lead, they can really roll over this Lucian Thresh, because they've constantly got that dive pressure. They've always got that kill pressure if they have the bush control. So I'm expecting them to get that early ward in the bush, then go back and get the sweep bush, so they can always clear it out. So Set can thresh in that Hex Flash in all the time, and then obviously Tristana jumps in and gets that combo off, right? Obviously Thresh can counter the Tristana's jump in by stopping her getting the extra bomb proc off of her jump with a fillet, but you got to time that pretty right. And even then, you got to sort of think that the Set would have CC'd him probably with the Lucian, with his E, so going to be quite hard for Lucian Thresh to be able to walk up to the wave at points. So I think J4 and Xin might need to come down to this bot lane and try and get one side more snowball in the other, but I think the Lucian Thresh will have a harder time once they get that snowball to keep their lead going. I think mid lane, you've got Azir versus LeBlanc. It's quite a common matchup. I think Azir can push the wave a lot, move and stuff like that, but the LeBlanc will be looking for more roams, and the Azir will probably have to stay in lane a bit more. Then also you got, if J4 runs into Xin, I think Xin Zhao wins out on that pretty much all the time. And then top side, I just don't see Camille coming back into that. I think that's the problem with this blind pick Camille.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a bit of a tricky one. I think that Camille can win this matchup, but I think later. I think it's a sentiment of you need to get some items, you need to get yourself situated where you can actually take on the Poppy, because Poppy does a surprising amount of damage in the earlier stages of the game. It really can hurt and catches people out a lot. So they will need to be cautious, and obviously, as we said, going for those hook shots, you're going to get stopped by Poppy. It's definitely going to be a bit of a rough time, as we do have some pretty cool skins. I don't think I've ever seen this Lucian skin, so I'm pretty excited to see that one in game. And yeah, I'm excited for this one. It is definitely a battle of two different comps. I'm liking that a lot. It's basically who will win out. Do you get the engage? Do you get the deny? We'll have to find out inside this game, and I'm really excited for this one. This first game of the series, this is where you kick it off. This is where you make your mark. This is where you potentially push yourself that one step closer to taking home this series, and it is going to be an absolute banger today.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you can already see through the rune choice that the way that they're going to be playing it. Tristana obviously taking the Hella Blaze to get that faster proc on, but the Set taking the Aftershock tells me that he's not expecting to be able to get these engages in lane super well. More preferring to save that for the team fight later on, because later on, obviously, Phase Rush, you end up being a little bit squishy without items. And then the other thing is this LeBlanc. Electrocute LeBlanc, very aggressive. Suggesting to me that she wants to win lane as hard as possible into this matchup. And we have the Azir taking the Comet, obviously going for that poke and that chunk, but I think LeBlanc with that Electrocute is going to do an insane amount of damage in that lane phase, and if they can land the right trades, probably come out on top.
Yeah, indeed, and we will have to see how this one goes down. Obviously, a lot of factors will be going into who is going to take home this game. Early game for different lanes. Will the Lucian get ahead? Will the Tristana get ahead? I do think bot lane is definitely one to keep your eyes solidly focused on, but it could also be going down in the mid lane. If that LeBlanc gets a little bit too scary, we all know how that ends.
Are they going to go for a collapse here on the... No, they're just scouting. You can see Set gets that little ward in that bush. Probably a little bit early. It's going to expire quite early on into lane, but that's fine. I wonder if Thresh is going to go down and do the same just to stop this Set from being able to threaten the Hex Flash a lot of the time. But for the most part, it's just a normal 4 point from the side of Extreme and 5 point from the side of definitely not Oshta.
Yeah, and it's game one. You don't necessarily want to risk it all on the 2-minute invade. So I think we are just going to take it pretty relaxed, or I should say 1 minute, 2 minute would be a bit late. But both junglers are positioning on the top side. Would you expect them to both start top side of the map, or are you expecting something different?
I'm expecting Zin to reset, go for his red. I think Zin starting blue is not the best for his clear speed, but I expect J4 really just to path down to the spot side and influence that. I'd expect Zin to maybe just do his bot side jungle and then go for the gank as well. Maybe give up his blue buff for a little bit and then come back up to it later if J4 hasn't invaded it. But yeah, I feel like this bot lane needs to be influenced early on. Like, look at how aggressive the Tristana's gone. Longsword and 3 pots saying, like, I'm going to trade super aggressively and then just outlast you in this lane. And the Lucian going for the D-Blade, the more common start.
Yeah, and we'll see if it does pay out for him. I guess there's reason as to why you'd buy it. Like, okay, you get the extra lifesteal and stuff, but we'll have to see how that one does work out. The pause has finished now, so we are going to be back into the game. Obviously, maybe some connection issues there in the early stages, but it won't really delay anything. It hasn't really reset anything either, as we do have the teams ready to line up, and it is going to be Jhin going back up to the top side of the map there. So he's going to be starting on the blue buff, and both junglers going to be pathing down, and will inevitably end up on the bottom Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, so ignore what I said about the pathing. I guess he's just going to path blue and then come out down to bot. Probably just because they saw the J4, but early trading going on here.
Yeah, and most of their getting a decent trade there onto Kata and able to deal quite a bit of damage there. And to be fair, the Azir, known for his consistent damage, not winning that one out. And it's in the bot lane. We do see the explosive charge drop down the Ignite over as well onto Tear, but he is going to be able to survive. They use the exhaust though, so the Dargon, not able to get too much back.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit unlucky on both sides there. The bomb going off just after the aftershock of the Thresh expired, so it did extra damage. And, you know, blowing the exhaust maybe not needed, but had to do it just in case the Lucian goes for that flash engage.
Yeah, Pui there, very close. Is it Pui? I'm not really sure.
I think so.
I think it's Pui. Okay, anyway. But basically, how are you going to be getting caught out there? That damage from Poppy is pretty crazy, so you need to be a little bit careful about that one and really flexing the power of the counter pick there in the top side.
Yeah, and Corrupting Pots really shot through here. Only burning one, and then Camille having to burn her health pot earlier on as well. So we'll see how this goes. I think Camille also has biscuits. I'll have to check that, but either way, it looks like she's going to be using them on the repeat.
Yeah, and it's not the nicest time. You having to burn all your pots so early, and Poppy is going to make the lane hard. I think if Camille wants to play this one out, though, it's just about getting that farm, keeping yourself consistent, and just trying not to die, because, yeah, I don't think Baylan is not going to have pressure for, like, a long time. It's going to be a difficult one for Howard.
Sincere, though.
We do see the gank in the mid lane though. Jhin, I don't think he's going to be able to capture the Blanc. But now Chaos there in his own jungle is being ganked by the bot lane. But here comes the return of the gank. She was everything trying to finish off the damage, but it's not going to be enough. Jumps forward, Tay going kind of low, but it's not going to be there just yet. And with the Jhin coming through, it might be all going wrong for Extreme, as LeBlanc going to TP in, but has to back away. The 4 versus 3 was a little bit too much for them. It's going to be first blood over to definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, LeBlanc reading the TP to get the reset first, but overall great play by the Thresh there to interrupt the J4 EQ combo, making him stay there. Unfortunately, the set collapses, but we are seeing an aggressive play from this Camille on the top side.
Well, how are you? Taking them pretty low. Not going to hookshot, though, and Baylan going to be able to pick up the kill, stopping any way to get that stun off, and just the straight damage is just going to go Poppy's way.
Yeah, and that's a massive wave topside as well. Camille does have TP, so she's going to have to burn that to be able to catch that wave. But either way, Poppy really showing up massive on this counter pick.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge. I will say Jhin got the kill in the bot lane skirmish. Not the worst person to have it on. Obviously, we'll be looking to mainly give over things to Lucian or the Azir. But I think all in all, it's still a really positive play. They managed to put a lot of pressure onto the job, and I believe they stole the blue buff as well.
Set got it, and then gave it lovingly to the Xin Zhao afterwards. Yeah, I mean, it's great that it's on the Xin Zhao, honestly. I quite like giving a bruiser jungler a kill so early because he can translate that across because he's playing super aggressive. But Pui looking for an early roam here with the Hex Flash over this wall.
One is there. Will Kata be able to get away? Gets thrown back. Flash will be used. And they are able to get out of danger. But no flash now. It is a gankable target. And Azir, although does have the shuffle, not exactly the most mobile.
Yeah, I think he interrupted the shuffle then. So he couldn't actually get away. Had to burn that flash. Really well played. Great roam time in there. Doesn't miss much bot side. I think actually Lucian might have had a free, so they could walk down anyway if he wanted to. So yeah, really well played. Nice timing.
Indeed is. Things are still pretty cash for Poppy. I will say How You has managed to farm pretty well, but saying that a huge wave is going to be pushed into the Poppy. So maybe those statistics are going to change a little bit on the top side. As early Dragon has spawned, Jhin might be looking for this one, but both junglers still on the bot side, and maybe we might get some bot action in the future.
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember, Poppy still has TP because of that wave that she crashed into the tower when she killed the Camille. She can now just freeze this here. If the Camille goes, if they try to stop this dragon, she can just TP down. So, looking a bit scary from the side of Xtreme.
Indeed, and
Whoa.
it's one where you kind of have to like check that you're not giving away too much in the early game. Obviously, they do scale quite well, but if you fall too far behind, then it's not going to really matter too much about how your late game performs because you're never going to get there.
Oh, she missed the cannon. Oh, I hate to see it.
It is a bit of a curse. Oh, flash forward and we'll throw them back. And now How Are You in a lot of trouble there? He's going to be able to get away. Those step uppers wasn't there, wasn't up, and just making out alive. Baelan really, really pressing this advantage.
I mean, either way, Camille's gonna probably miss this wave if she can push it fast enough. But really well played. I think just missing the ulti under tower. I think that was the idea of that. But Set going in super aggressive here again.
They do have the backup from Chaos. He is going to be looking to try and get some CC onto Te, who will go for the hook onto Set. Does manage to dodge the flag and dragon. Now the Ignite going on to Chaos. He's going to push him back. But here comes Jin Xiao. They might be looking to go even further forward. Lucian dashing in. Doggo getting pretty good damage down. Pui is in a bit of trouble here now. Gonna be taken down to the Jin once again. As How Are You in a lot of trouble here. Is going to go for the Hextech Ultimatum. Will lock Baelan in, but it's not going to mean anything because they take another solo kill. Oh, hold on 1 second. They don't want you to talk just yet. Chaos is going to go down to the Jhin, and Mosa now potentially in some trouble. Did jump forward. Jhin looking for more, but Tristana with the backup. Maybe going to be able to turn this one around. Mosa able to get away and just dodges the death sentence.
Well, we said it was going to be a battle, this one, and so far it's going back and forth, but the coin is always landing on the side of definitely, and I mean, oh, mine's paused.
Yeah, I have paused as well. It's fine.
I thought that I crashed. That was really scary, but okay, I think it's just paused. Yeah, really well played. Baelan really just exerting his power in this top lane, just even diving a Camille. I mean, the Camille stayed for that massive wave that we were talking about because she had no TP, but look at the minions that are under there now. That's massive wave, and so far, Xin Zhao really popping off on his skill. 3 kills on the Xin Zhao. That's going to be insane going forward.
Yeah, indeed, as we do see Pui stepping forward once again, but it's a risky situation for me right now. You're not ahead, you are behind. The Lucian is dangerous. I mean, they haven't based yet, so they haven't necessarily spent the gold they gained, but it feels like Xtreme need to kind of slow it down a little bit. I feel like speeding up, trying to get into more fights is only going to equate to definitely not getting further ahead.
Yeah, I mean they've tried to impact this bot lane, but every time they've just been counter ganked, right? And it's gone the complete other way that they wanted. And yeah, Set's the one that's gone down for the most part. Then J4, but yeah, I feel like at this point you probably just need to go for some big play because at the moment their top side's looking insanely strong. And yeah, their Lucian's not massively ahead, but that's 2 assists and the 15 CS lead, so you are leaking quite a bit of gold here.
Okay, could be caught out here. Does get the hook onto LeBlanc. Mosa maybe looking for more, but decides, you know what, it's not worth it. It'll be a little bit too long. So we're going to go back to the lane, make sure they don't miss too much farmers. Is it? I think it's going to go pick up the blue buff from the Xin Zhao.
Yeah, Xin should probably come up into this Herald, if not gank the Camille first, but yeah, just starting Herald. Not scared, he's got 3 kills. Could pretty much 1v1 anyone in the game at this point. Insane champ.
Indeed, it is truly a very strong champion. It's still S tier, and I believe has been S tier for a little bit. But right now, How Are You trying to trade, but just literally doing no damage to this Poppy at the moment. That shield just keeping them healthy.
I mean, yeah, the Ninja Tabby's coming out first item from Poppy, just saying, hey, even if you do have damage at some point, have 12% less. It's fine. And like, even with those items, still being able to put out this massive damage on it just shows the power of this pick in the top side.
Indeed, and I never understood why 12%. It seems a little bit of a random number. But either way, I guess it doesn't really mean anything. It's not it's not up to us to do the maths. It's up to us to cast the game. As Mosa putting a bit of pressure on Zakata there in the jungle, is joined by Chaos as well. But I wonder if this is going to be countered as Tate looking for a hook, potentially doesn't manage to land it, but it is going to be a gank onto the bot side. We do have the Jhin moving down, but it looks like they're going to look around their jungle first, and it gives time for She Was Everything and Pui to get away.
Are they going to death push? I think they're going to death push. Either way, that play, them roaming down, got 2 plates for the Tristana, a lot of gold, equal to a kill, so since I'm spot on.
Keep taking the Raptors right now. Jhin going to go aggressive here, but they have the backup. Azir shuffling in, picks up the kill onto the Jarvan. An easy push with the Emperor. The hook catches them out. Mosa trying to get away, does have distortion. The Ignite is ticking. There's going to be the kill over to Tay. And in the top lane, how are you? Get slapped down once again. Solo Bolo, 3rd time in a row. 3 strikes, you are out. And that lane is definitely going to be over for How Are You.
Oh, that is something that you just don't want to see when you finally, you know, as Extreme, you're like, oh, we just lost a lot bot side. Hopefully our top side's doing okay, instantly solo killed. It's something that you hate to see, but so far in this top side, they're playing insane, and Xin Zhao just shredding LeBlanc. Half HP for nothing.
That is a feels bad. You get back to lane, you lose half your HP, you're like, damn, we're going to need to recall again. And so the bot said, we're going to take a lot of the culling there. So did She Was Everything, and Haymaker just a little bit short.
Yeah, I mean, from aggressive play from definitely just trying to punish that, but just not getting in range with that set just yet. Slightly unfortunate, but looks like there's going to be a play towards this bot side, maybe starting the Drake after.
Yeah, and they might go for it. The TP from the Azir is going to take him to the mid lane, so it will be slightly behind the pace of this gank. Most are going to have to dodge away from the Jhin, who is looking aggressive, does jump in. Jarvan going to look for Dark God, but not going to be able to find it. TP, as you said, coming through. That's going to be the Poppy, who will now be causing a lot of problems, but big slam down from Pui will keep the rest of his team safe, and they are able to escape. But that means Dragon will be going over to the side of Definitely Not, which admittedly isn't going to be the worst thing for Camille. Gives them a little bit of time to stay in lane on their own and get some plates.
Yeah, I mean, that TP from Poppy pretty much accomplished not much from her end, right? Yes, they did get the Drake, but I think they could have probably got it without her. But this is a double stack wave that's crashing under, so if Camille can get 2 plates here, it's looking pretty worth Azir coming to match that. Yeah.
He is dodged out. Hook shot there, getting able to dodge that one, and pretty smooth look as well, I will say. As we have to look at the gold lead though, 4K. Up to the side of Definitely Not. That's quite a lot of gold considering we're only 12 minutes in.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, there's 1.5k gold lead top side, 1k jungle, and 1k mid. Like that's the power points so far for them, and so far I think they're the people that you want the gold on for Definite washed up. And there doesn't seem to be an answer from Extreme.
Oh, and Mosa now could be in a bit of trouble. Wasn't able to dash out, but nice dash stopped by Poppy. Does manage to have the second distortion though ready with the ultimate and is able to get out of there alive. But LeBlanc, normally a champion that never gets ganked, normally one that can get away quite easily, but it's definitely having a bit of a bad time in the mid lane. There's a lot of pressure has been thrown their way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they even used the Herald there to really put it behind as well. And Azir just been able to poke her for free, and then when a Poppy comes down, you can't dash away. And really well played, holding the distortion there, knowing that you can't get away. Obviously, you can still, I think you can flash at a Poppy W still, so maybe if it needs be, but yeah, it's a shame, a lot of pressure, but Xin Zhao.
Oh, Jhin, they're going to be jumping in. Hexag Ultimation used to push away Poppy, but it may not be enough. Jarvan just trying to save his own bacon as Emperor's Divide pushes him back under the tower, but Chaos now can use Capitalism to jump out of there, but it just gives him an opening to pick up the kill. The Jarvan gets put down as LeBlanc is moving up towards this play, though, so maybe going to look for a pick, but I don't think they're going to be able to find anything. They may just come to defend the tower.
Yeah, for a second I thought that Azir... Ooh.
Hook there in the bot lane. We do see Pui stepping forward, trying to get the Lucian, but not going to be able to catch them out. The dash is a little bit too strong as now She Was Everything just going to safely run away.
Yeah, just nice little trade there. But yeah, top side, I thought the Azir ulti was probably going to save the J4 then for a second, but luckily they're able to complete that dive. Xin Zhao did look worried for a second. If he didn't hit that W, I think he would have died. So maybe a slight misplay, but either way, it's working out for them. I mean, they haven't lost a kill, and it looks like a flawless game so far.
Indeed, well, 9-0, they haven't died yet, and it's almost that moment of who's going to die first. Will they potentially go perfect in this game? That would definitely be something that I haven't seen maybe ever, if not in a very long time. And it's been a little bit unfortunate, I will say, for Extreme. I don't think that the scoreline necessarily shows how the game has gone, because it's been close. It's not like they've just been whitewashed. Like, it does feel like they got pretty close on a couple of these plays, and it's just gone the way of definitely not each time. Yeah,
I just feel like definitely not of they've just always had the counter gank when it hasn't gone just right for Extreme, and that Poppy is just smurfing.
The damage is high as we see Chaos getting ganked by the Jhin in his own jungle, but Mosa is there. It's a 2v1, but they're not able to finish off this damage, and in comes Azir, scoops them away. Mosa might be able to get out though, and so will the Jarvan. So neither going to go down, as How Are You still trading pretty well with Bailan, but it's starting to go a little bit better for the Camille.
Yeah, I mean, Camille being able to at least last up here long enough now, not going down every 2 seconds, which is a bit better than it was. Still leaking pressure, so the Xin is going to be able to pick up this Herald on the backside, but as you can see, the Xin Zhao was just invading their top side pretty much constantly.
Ooh, Hextech ultimatum going to be used. How Are You doesn't get pinned against the wall. Now able to get quite a bit of damage down. Maybe looking to finish this one up. Precision Protocol's there. The hook shot is there as well, but the threat comes through with the save. The Azir damage again. How Are You? If we were to ask you this question, it's probably going to be not so good, because each time it's got close, it's always gone Poppy's way. And we do see Pui, Jarvan making their way up to the top side, but I don't think they're really going to be able to do much. I believe Azir should be able to get a bit more pressure onto this tower, maybe even take it, as the Thresh is just going to try and recall. They will walk away. I don't think the tower will go down, but Mosa maybe looking for more here. Does drop the chains onto Tay, who will now get knocked up. A good flay does keep them at bay, but it's going to be Chaos jumping in with the Cataclysm, and Tay gets away though, and it's another kill not closed by Extreme.
That's the second time he's got away with a slither of HP. I think what happened there, J4 tried to leave the kill for LeBlanc, not thinking the Thresh had flash, and just gets away. I am happy to see that the side of Extreme let the tower go. There was no one in plating range, and it might give the Camille just a better chance in this matchup, giving her a longer chance to be able to catch these waves, so she can go roam and come back and catch them just a little bit more. Maybe forces Poppy to overextend. But so far, I mean, definitely just really not slipping up very much, and when they do, they're able to get away with it, and it's looking pretty much their game at this point to lose.
Indeed, it truly is. We talked about how the early game needs to go. Right now, Mosa in a lot of trouble there. As Kata able to scoop them up. The soldiers are slicing them with those spears, and that's going to be another dragon over to the Jhin. The gold lead is now 7k, 17 minutes in, and we talked about it's all well and good having a good late game, but if you never get there, it doesn't matter. Maybe Extreme had a better late game, but it genuinely has not mattered in this whole game. They've not had a place on the Rift to call their own, and definitely not approving the name is correct.
Yeah, I mean, their jungle's not even their own anymore. Look at this. I'm pretty sure J4 hasn't had a camp in a little bit. I think he might pick up chickens here, but yeah, for the most part, he hasn't had his own jungle, and I gotta say, this Poppy just really offering so much pressure that top side to give this Xin Zhao just free roams and whatever, and yeah, so far they just shut down every chance that Extreme has had trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, indeed, and it's a sentiment where normally we would be like, okay, well, they need to do this and that to get back into the game, but it is so not close that it feels like there's almost no way, unless definitely not make a big mistake.
Yeah, I think that the only way into it is the solo Q strat where you just give up Drake and go for Elder, but even then, you've got to walk into that comp, and that's going to be hard enough.
Indeed. And right now, the mid-tier 2 is going to fall. Not really much they can do about that. We haven't even got the Baron buff available yet, and they are 3.5 minutes away from Ocean Soul, which is definitely not going to help Extreme in any way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if they can't kill someone now...
Ooh, they are looking for this. Chaos is going to be able to get away, but there goes Jin diving back in. TP is going to be coming through though, as Pui is going to go around the back. Maybe they find the first kill here, but the Lantern gets him away, and a big shot out with the Emperor's Divide, but Stasis is going to be used for the Azir on the back line. We do see Set diving in they go. Will they find him when they pick up one kill? Azir goes down. Pui very low himself, might be finished by the Jin Shadow. There's a double kill going over. She was everything trying to drop the damage, but Lucian with a bit too much, as Mosa on the back line might be able to try and find another, but Lucian double kill. The culling comes out. Mosa getting distortion away, and that is just another play that goes onto the side of Definitely Not. They don't get a perfect score though. Extreme picked up one kill.
I mean, from the start of that fight, I honestly thought Extreme had a chance there. Poppy just not TPing at all to that play. That is probably the closest fight you'll see, because as far as gold goes, that was completely even. You know, you're talking, they were about 7k down before that play. Poppy's worth 7k, so that is the closest fight they could probably ever get. And it just looked like there was a few miscommunication things. They went for the tankier member and the Xin Zhao, who had these ulti ups. They couldn't get the damage down. And yes, they got the Azir, but the Lucian was just untouched to the back end and just able to get off those last couple of kills. And just super unfortunate from the side of Extreme that they couldn't, that they only find this fight now. You know, if that was 5 minutes earlier when they were only down 3k, they might have been able to turn that more in their favor and actually maybe get that into a Baron.
Yeah, and as you said, it's almost 10k gold. So if it was closer, maybe it pans out to be their way. I think also there was maybe a little bit of miscommunication. Mosa was kind of walking away as Tristana was still going in. So maybe they weren't fully on the same page. Maybe they were kind of half in, half out. And obviously that's never going to be able to help you out in those fights if you have that doubt.
Okay, but they finally got a jungle camp on this J4 after a while, so that's an important thing.
Indeed, trying to get some remnants of gold. And to be fair, he's actually not that far behind in CS, so it's not like he's been fully starved, but right now most are going in with the chains. They do get the pullback onto the Jhin, who does have to use Crescent Guard, able to dash away now into Chaos as the Cataclysm comes out, but there's a big Emperor's Divide, throwing them back into the fight. 3 already dead, most are trying to get away, will just be able to get over the wall. And that could be a big moment in this game. It's not going to really change the momentum, but it might be the inhibs as Mosa trying to get away, but the Poppy is still lurking around, gets them close to death. The Herald is still charging in, and Shelly has had a bit of a trip. And they might be looking for more. They go onto the inhib. The Nexus Tower is now 3 health on Shelly. They might even be able to keep it alive for the Nexus. It will finally fall down, but the Nexus is open. They should be able to finish this one. It is going to be the game as the client decides, you know what, we're not going to see the ending.
Yeah, I mean, really well played. Poppy just keeps LeBlanc busy. That Herald just doing so much damage. Obviously, sometimes you might want to tank it so the tower shots doesn't go through on it, but for the most part, that Herald was great. They did the team fight whilst it was charging, so Extreme had to do something to react and didn't go their way, but when they did fight, it was just too late. They'd already got such a huge gold deficit that they just couldn't get back into it.
Yeah, it's hard to really say much because, look, if you're 10k goal behind, it's difficult for you to get back into this game. They played it super clean in the early game, definitely not looking really strong. And I'm not gonna lie, for Extreme, I need to see a lot more come out from next draft because that looked like two teams that were unevenly matched, you know, and we know how close these two teams are together. We've seen them play against one another before. So Extreme really need to kind of buckle up and be like, you know what, we need to take this one. We need to now pick up these wins because if they lose another game, that's it, series over.
Yeah, I mean, Extreme just forced their draft too heavily, I think. They had a plan and they thought nothing could counter it, and then they just forgot the one champion that counters all dashes, you know? And I know Poppy's not a mainstream pick, but they didn't think about it in this situation, and they were like, it's fine. And then they just completely and utterly wiped them in this series. But for the most part, they tried to pressure this bot side, and every time they went down there, it was just a couple millimeters off of being able to get that set damage off to be able to combo it all off. Because you got to remember that Thresh lived, I think, about 3-4 times on 100 HP getting away, and those early kills probably could have changed that lane phase for that Tristana, maybe giving him more pressure there. So really close, but really well played by the Xin Zhao to be able to be there to counter gank it every time.
Yeah, they just weren't able to get off the mark. You know, like I think the Extreme have a lot of potential, but in a game like that, you can never get to show it. You know, so I think Extreme need to come back I don't know if the draft was the issue because to be honest, I don't think their comp was bad. It's just that they didn't have any like natural winning lanes. I feel like Set and the Tristana, yes, you could argue is a winning lane, but at the same time, into Lucian Thresh, it's not going to be free. Mid lane, LeBlanc into Azir, yeah, you can have a lot of pressure, but the Xin Zhao was really proactive in the early game. They were able to get a
Yeah.
lot of picks. They were able to get those leads accumulated. They got the Herald in the mid, so they got a lead. The picks in the bot lane on the Set gives pressure over to this Lucian, and obviously Poppy just soloing the Camille like anytime they had. So it's kind of a sentiment of Extreme just didn't set themselves up for success, and they got punished for it.
Yeah, I mean, Extreme in most games they just leave How Are You up in that top side, and for the most part, they win lane, right? And that's why they put them on this carry top laner. And it is quite a common thing for them to play carries in all lanes. I think we were discussing that before the game. But look, I definitely just put theirs on a tank and just went tank beats carry and just completely ran over the game. And if you're playing carries in every role, I think the problem with the carries they have to be even or ahead to be able to get this. And so far, it wasn't really going that well for them.
Yeah, and it's a sentiment of like, when you have all those carries, there is that moment where you're just kind of like, okay, one of us will do well. One of us will get ahead, one of us will start to pop off. But it didn't really feel like that. It felt like they all lost, and then they were kind of stuck with no one really being able to do too much. And I think that coming through to game 2, I'm not saying they shouldn't play the 3 carries, but I feel like they need to come through with a very solid game plan of how we're going to do it. If you are going to pick your top laner blind, make sure that you assert a lot of dominance in the bot lane, because that's a risky time. Like the Poppy had such a free lane.
Yeah, for sure. I will say, like, what does this mean for the tournament as well? Because Extreme did take down Bumblebees. Someone Toki was mentioning it in chat, and Definite Wash Up, and they took down Among Us. So if Definite Washed Up wins this game, does that mean that they have a really high chance of being able to beat Bumblebees going on after this game if they win this series? Because so far, what we're seeing from them is just a domination of Extreme in this game. And yes, you can argue Extreme didn't play to their strength this game, but from Definitely, it's looking like they've stepped up even more than they have been in the recent weeks.
Yeah, and it's a sentiment where like team scaling. Obviously, there's all the memes of are you winning? No, we scale into late. To be honest, definitely have done that. Like, I don't know if they had the best early stages, but they have been coming through hot recently. Like, they are on a hot streak. You can't touch that pan without the gloves, and they're really showing it today. And there's potential that they could 2-0 here. And if they do, that's actually insane. Like, it's not something I would have predicted coming into this game. I was expecting maybe a 2-1 either way. So if it is a 2-0, then definitely are coming in much higher than I would have anticipated.
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting Extreme to really crack back on this next game. I'm expecting them to really just ramp it up a bit. It could be hard after that loss. It was quite a demoralizing loss. 20 minutes, 12k down at the end. But I'm hoping they can recover, really put on a show that I know that they can do. I mean, I think that their support is probably my favorite support in the tournament. They've been popping off in most games, and I think you just need to play to your strengths. They normally play Braum Vayne. I'd like to see that come back, especially considering how well it's done for them. So maybe we'll see something like that. Maybe they let the king through this time from Deathly's side. No, never mind.
No, I don't know if you let the game through. I think that's a bit risky.
If you're going to ego it, when you get a win like that, sometimes it's nice to give them their chance so you can get some experience going into the next round. Sometimes you want to feel that confidence going forward, but
that's some risky for a biscuit stuff right there. I will say that. Now we do see the Katarina Kane and the Rakan there banned away from Definitely Not from Extreme. They decide to ban out the Jhin, the Bard, and the Hecarim. First pick going to be the Graves. Definitely a very strong pick. Also could be Elena. So Extreme going to have a lot of flexibility with that first one.
Yeah, I think it has a high chance of going to their jungle. I believe that is one of his mains, so it makes a lot of sense. It's sort of strong. I think jungle's probably his weakest role at the moment. I've seen a lot of Graves top, some Graves mid, but Graves top really being his strongest part. It looks like Definite Washed Up just straight up going MF. Is this going to be a Mumu as well? Just take it as well. Go for that combo, why don't you? I mean, you might as well. It is pretty strong at the moment.
Yeah, and I will say Graves is really powerful. I I don't love when Graves is strong. I will say, like, I love playing Kindred. It's a direct counter. It feels bad, but Rek'Sai definitely someone that can handle with Graves. If you get that knock up, he can pretty much get absolutely ripped to pieces, especially in those early stages. But Rek'Sai does have that kind of curse of being super good early game, but then you kind
Yeah.
of fall off a lot.
Yeah, you got to find those flanks late game, and if you don't find those, you just look ridiculous, you know. So it's sort of an interest. It's an older counter than what we see now. A lot of people just run what was meta into Graves anyway, but nice to see. I'm happy that they picked the Braum Ezreal. Obviously not the best synergized lane, but Braum into MF, if they do go the Amumu, it kind of helps, as well as they have to put that wall up to protect them. And then obviously Ezreal has that peel back, so you can just keep jumping back and back. Ooh, Karma.
Yeah,
So
Ezreal Braum there. Pretty nice combination. I do like that one, especially with the Graves as well. Gives you a lot of lockup just from the auto attacks alone. And obviously Ezreal's Mystic Shock can proc those as well. As Karma there being locked in. Karma Misfortune I would be surprised about, but maybe definitely are going to maybe put that in the top lane. Could even go mid as well.
yeah, I suppose I didn't pick up the Amumu there. Obviously, Amumu MF is the bigger combo we've seen going forwards. Karma into Braum, not bad. Karma is a counter to Braum pretty heavily. Braum doesn't do very well into range support, so any enchanter, you can pretty much pick anyone there. Like if you want to pick Nami or something like that, Senna, whatever you want, you know. Doesn't do great into it, but to be honest, if you want to play for a team fight, maybe it's just better to go for that Amumu, that big combo. It has been working out really well, and yes, the Braum can counter it pretty well with the shield, but if the Braum's at the back of the line, he's not going to be. He's only going to be blocking him for himself. So I feel like I would just take the Amumu here, but maybe they just didn't feel like that combo was worth it.
Yeah, and maybe they're going to save it for a later round. Maybe they decide to opt into it later. Obviously, the Ezreal, not the easiest to lock down. He is quite annoying with the Arcane Shift. And I will say, I played Ezreal recently the other day. I don't play ADC like ever, but I tried it out and it's really fun. Ezreal's really fun, but also a lot of damage. I was really surprised how much damage like Ezreal was able to put out. And it is definitely someone that you kind of got to watch out for. He's a little bit of a sly one there. But with the second round of bans, we do see the Blanc taken away, the Riven, because Sokisaki's in the chat, obviously, have to ban that one away. And then the Twisted Fate and the Fiora removed by Extreme.
Yeah, Toki upset that he's not casting Extreme because they do sometimes pull out the Riven, so he does get very hyped about that. Obviously, the Fiora ban as well. Talking about that before, definite washed up, really good Fiora. Shen? Okay, they're playing Shen, so I guess Shen is their engage for this combo. They're going to be playing around the Shen taunt into the MF ult. Still think that the Amumu would have been better if you're going for that, but Karma can speed up the Shen and the Rek'Sai to be able to get those knockups, get those taunts off in those fights. Echo. Ooh.
I'm very surprised if it's Lane Echo. If they pick Echo here, I would be so shocked if it's Lane Echo, but maybe.
Surely that tells you that if they pick that, that could mean that the Graves is going to go into a solo lane, because that is more or less where it should go if that is the case.
This is spicy from Stream. I like this a lot. I like this pick a lot more. Also, I will say definitely haven't given away a lot of their picks as well. Shen could be going support. You never know. Things can happen. As the San, as you said, going to be locked in there. We'll have to see if they do. Well, basically, we'll have to see where everything goes, because this last pick is really going to change the whole board.
Yeah, I mean, I think what they say probably their mid pick, yeah, because Karma mid not the best at the moment, but yeah, I'm expecting this Graves now to go into a solo lane, probably mid, and Echo go jungle. Makes a bit more sense, but obviously they do have that flexibility. I think they can trade that till like 10 seconds beforehand, so they can keep doing that. Ryze picked up. I think Ryze can do pretty well into Graves because he can attack in behind minions, and if it is into Echo, you can lock it down before she gets in range to that W. So pretty safe pick there. We have some internet problems on on one side, so unlucky. Yeah. But I think definitely sort of missing. I feel like if they did pick that Amumu, I think their team comp would just be that much stronger team fighting comp. I think their Karma is more that they can move around as much as they want. But to be fair, I mean, you have got the side of Sion on Extreme, that solo bolo in that top lane. That is my man, you know. I'd love to see a Smite TP top laner go for that, you know, full on like solo queue build, and that's what I'd love to see here. But
wait, Smite TP, is that what you just said?
Yeah. Have you not seen that? Solo queue.
Wait, what? Smite TP Sion?
Yeah. It's a strat created by the best player in League of Legends, the Baus.
Yeah.
Literally, instant wave clear on every wave. You can just smite the cannon, and then you can also just go do jungle camps whenever. You can one-shot chickens with it, and just rack up CS. I believe, I think, did definitely play it, or was it someone else? I think.
Yeah, we saw
might
it
have
with
been,
definitely not washed up. They played it
Yeah.
already, I think.
Yeah, and they played the smite as. I think they played the smite as well. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, did it.
Yeah, and it was they lost lanes to a Fiora, and then just they lost lane to a Fiora, but they just complete and utterly just came back into the game, just an absolute monster on the side lane because you just become a tank. That's just nuts.
Top lane is crazy. I'm just saying, top laners are the maddest people. Like they try anything and everything, bro. Like I've seen it. Like if there's ever been a lane where it's just been like, what are you playing? And they're just like, yeah, this is meta. This is number one pick, and it's just something weird. It's just top lane. Like it's literally just like, well, what have we not seen in top lanes? We've seen Soraka's, tank Karmas, tank Fizz, tank Echo. We've seen basically anything under the sun that you can name. You can probably play in the top lane. It's probably got a thing. Now that you're telling me Smite, TP, Sion as well, it's
You
all
play mid as well.
mad. Oh
that
my
side
days.
could be mid, and then you can do your chickens and the enemy chickens, and just keep doing that. It's actually nuts. But I mean, what I will say is that top and the support I find are the best for flexibility. You can put whatever you like into it. So, like, if you look at Definite Washed Up, we could see this Karma going top into the tank, and then seeing the Shen go support. I'm not really expecting that due to the Shen being able to probably do better into the Sion and just be able to be that tank in the top side that you need in that comp. But that is an opportunity if they need it. Shen can taunt the Sion out of his big Qs, but sometimes sometimes you forget how big that Sion Q range is and just get surprised by it. So yeah, can be kind of scary. But both teams, honestly, quite interesting team comps. Not really the any new champions that we've come to expect this season, but for the most part, very interesting.
Yeah, definitely a different look. Like I'm excited to see the Graves mid. Or actually, it might even be Echo mid. I'm still not sure on this one. I would personally prefer to see Echo jungle.
Yeah, same.
But maybe not. Maybe it's going to be Echo mid. Rise there as well. I like seeing Rise a lot. Like Rise for me has obviously changed. Like I've been playing since season 4, right? So there's been like 4 or 5 different Rises that I've seen. You know, like they've all been pretty mad. I will say that. Like the worst was definitely Machine Gun Rise. Like that was just like, bro, like what the hell? But either way, Rise nowadays still very strong. 2 items, really powerful at the moment. So he's definitely one that people can kind of sleep on. I think the narrative for Rise used to be just the most late game champion, but these days he's kind of a bit more up to speed. Those 2 items do really make him quite strong. And if they do play around that mid and get Captor ahead again, definitely Washed Up, definitely going to be having a strong team fight.
Yeah, it used to be Sivir mid, right? That whole 300 CS meme in the mid lane. So yeah, I'm happy to see it getting that stronger pick, especially with the Everfrost being able to double lock up. Can be insanely strong here. By looks of it, we are seeing the Echo go into that jungle. Maybe they're gonna swap it around after just to mess with us slightly. But yeah, for the most part, it seems like we know where everyone's going. And just now, no one move. Just stay where you are.
And I will say, interesting, well, maybe not that interesting interaction, but it's definitely an interaction, is that, so Echo, if you chrono break, it dodges you away from Rek'Sai when they do go for their ultimate, which is really annoying if you are Rek'Sai, because you try and finish off that one shot and then Echo just disappears, you miss your ultimate and it goes on cooldown. So I wouldn't expect Rek'Sai to be looking to solo kill Echo in those kind of environments, but obviously Rek'Sai will have that early lead. They're going to have the early gank pressure over the Echo, because yes, Echo can gank early. Obviously, Parallel Convergence a really strong stun, but Rek'Sai is the queen of the Rift when it comes to pre-10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Rek'Sai is obviously it's literally just it's not even a point and click. He literally just clicks on someone and just one shots them, right? I'm expecting in this lane for him to play around this Rise, because obviously Rise instant lockup with his abilities, so you can root them in place, and the Rek'Sai just tunnels straight onto them. Little combo there, should be able to burst through the Rise, the Graves. Sorry, English hard. The Graves really fast, so that should be the pressure point for them. I'm expecting MF Karma to play that poke lane pretty heavily. Just go for, maybe you go the Comet MF, you just go for the Manamune build where you just spam the E, just get that poke out and make them so they can't stay in the lane for that long period of time. which is that bane of life of that Karma. Because trust me, as a support main, seeing a Karma, you're like, I hate you. I hate that damage. I hate you. Uh,
It,
so
it
yes,
seems like Karma though is a little bit like in my eyes. Now maybe it's just because like I don't know the people are playing with are not playing it right, but like for me, Karma's always felt like you're really good until like kind of that 15-minute mark, and then you're basically just a shield bot. And if the shielding doesn't come through clean in team fights, then you're kind of just useless. You know, like it's a really good lane pick, but then after that, it kind of feels like diminishing returns.
yeah. I mean, down in your elo, I mean, I guess you just don't know how to play support. I'm sorry, that was mean.
That was
No.
tragic right there. Deep. Shout out to my plat players right here. That's what I'm saying.
Karma, yeah. So the shield in late game, the shield's scale on AP, so she doesn't get those items, but there are certain items that will help her, obviously, but supports they don't get as much gold after 15 minutes because of the way that the support end has been changed, so the gold does drop off quite heavily, so she doesn't hit the power spike she used to. But I'm still expecting her to have quite a big influence in this lane, more so because lane dominance should be the massive thing. Because otherwise, you pick the Amumu for that team fighting, right? I think what they've done is they've gone, we want to win lane hard and not worry about getting to that team fight stage. We just need to one shot them beforehand, you know. So I'm expecting a lot from this Karma pick. The other thing is obviously Ezreal can dodge away from any gank that the Rek'Sai comes as long as he plays it correctly. Obviously, Rek'Sai can follow up with flash, but then Ezreal can just phase shift and then flash, so he's got multiple different ways to escape. So sort of makes it hard for intervention in this lane. So I guess going the Karma means that you should be able to win that lane alone without needing that jungle pressure. Top side is just going to be tanks hitting each other. I always prefer a Sion, but Shen ults and stuff like that, fun. See where that goes. If the Shen ult comes at the wrong time, going to give up a lot of lane pressure, maybe a few plates. Sions love plates, as we all know, so you got to be timing these ults correctly. Make sure maybe you save your TP so that you can TP back after the ult down, and then you don't miss so much. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great game to see, and I mean the comps are pretty spicy with the Graves mid and the Echo Flex, and it's hard.
Yeah, it's definitely spicy. It's definitely a cool game. I'm really excited for this one. I think there's definitely a bit of a switch up, I will say. Like, obviously, definitely Whatnot came through with a very, like, kind of denial comp in the last game. They were basically just like, no, you're not getting to the backline, mate. So this time, not necessarily the same feeling. It does feel like they've kind of gone for a little bit of team fight versus a little bit of kind of pick potential. We'll have to see how they do play out in those later stages, because I think Extreme probably actually have the better 5v5 comp. But again, once again, or I should say once again and again, I'm just going to keep saying again until I stop. But basically, if we don't get to those team fights like game one, it doesn't matter who has the better team fight, because Definitely Not just kind of ended it way before any of those phases. We'll have to see if they can be clinical again, or if Extreme can start to kind of light that fire and show us exactly how they made it here.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely prefer this draft from them this time around, preferring not to blind pick a Camille. Probably a much better choice. Sion, I love, and is really going to be impactful on these side lanes, because even if they start to lose the team fights, which I don't expect, this Sion could just sit on that side lane, just apply massive amounts of pressure. Even if he dies, you trade the pressure. You're gonna have to send multiple people, because this Shen, unless he gets those massive items, he's not going to be able to meet him in this side lane and be able to do much. I think Shen has taken Ultimate Hunter, so he's looking for these ults across the map. But that is the key to Definitely, is that if people go for these plays on them, go for these picks, Shen's going to be there, right? The Shen's going to ult in, shield them up, and stop them. But at what point is him ulting down not worth compared to what the Sion's going to get in that top side? Because Sion destroys towers like no other. Yes, you can say Tristana's close, but Tristana can't tank the tower at the same time as just one-shotting it. So it's gonna be scary from the side. And one big thing, sorry, I am waffling on quite a bit. Press the attack MF. That suggests to me that she's going to be going for this crit build. I prefer the crit build into the tanky members, because obviously if she goes to lethality, she's not going to be able to even have a chance of bursting into this Sion. So this build should be able to do a lot of damage, and also it scales on her ulti with crit, so that ulti is going to be doing hella damage.
Yeah, and also like there's a few squishy targets as well. So we've all taken MFs at autos, like they really hurt. So if you are in those team fights, you get hit 1-2 pap from the misfortune. It is always going to be a little bit of a bad day for people like the Ezreal or the Grace, maybe even the Echo as well. But for me, I'm just looking for a much closer game in this one. I think the Extreme have got a better comp. I think that they're not as hardly counted. Because obviously the last game Poppy was literally just the perfect pick. It was just the trap card that you didn't expect. The Mirror Force came back at you, and I'm excited to see this Echo Jungle as well. I feel like it's not a pick that gets played often in 5v5. I think it's more of a solo queue monster, and to see it today, I'm definitely excited to see what Chaos can do on it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really smart hidden pick, right? I don't know if it was on purpose or not. If they picked it and then realized that once the Rek'Sai came through, they're like, I can't play that. Just swap me out, coach. Put something else in. But for the most part, it worked. It's worked pretty well for them. I think that the Echo does better into this Rek'Sai, so that opens up a lot. And obviously, Graves, as we were saying, is really nuts in the solo lane, and it can apply massive damage. Another thing I'd like to note is we have seen Extreme's draft. This is more so what we expect from them in previous games. So I'm happy to see them rotating back to their normal style where they have this, as I said, they have the Braum in the bot side. They do normally play it with an Ezreal or a Vayne. That is their common pick. So they can leave their bot side be and then just play maybe to this top side or mid side. So probably not expecting this Echo to go down to this bot side, but when he does, I'm expecting big things.
Yeah, just keep you guys at home updated. We do have a bit of a problem with a DC for one of the players, so they should hopefully be back very shortly. Obviously, that is why we are on the pause. I believe that the betting is open. I'm not fully sure, but it will be soon. So if you did want to bet, once again, it is !bet, and then the color that you choose, plus the number 25 to 1,000. Or you can just say all, and then the bet's 1,000 for you immediately. So that will be how it goes. Let us know in chat as well who you think is going to win this one, who you think had the better comp as well. Give us your opinion, and we will be taking that one into account as we should be going into the game pretty shortly. I'm excited about this one. I'm more excited about this one than game one because I feel like it's a lot closer. It's a lot more even, and there's a lot more outplay potential. That Rek'Sai, the Echo, there's a lot going on there. The Graves and the Rise. I'm excited to see if they can really get that Graves ahead because I've watched a game before where a Graves got absolutely destroyed mid for pretty much 90% of the game, and then it came late game and it was just bang, bang, everyone was dead. And it was just like, what is this champion? Why are you like this? But I'm excited to see what they have to do work on it, and also how are you. It's Sion, man. It's just push that top lane. Just keep pushing. What are you gonna do? You're gonna push the top lane. You're gonna keep pushing the top lane, and then it's gonna keep pushing the top lane. You know it's Route 1 League of Legends.
Yeah, I mean, I'm disappointed in him for taking the flash. I mean, flash abusing, terrible thing, especially in this rule of top laners where they don't normally take the flash. So disappointed, but for the most part, happy to see that, especially after the rough game they had last time round. I'm looking for them to try and step up and try and be the tank this time around. Try and get maybe even them take the lead this time. Get some early kills. If not, just use their champ as pressure because last time they were on the Camille, they went to that side lane. Poppy could match him alone. This time maybe they're gonna have to bring some other people around and you get the pressure that you need. I'm hoping Extreme can actually get some objectives this time. The Drakes, the Herald, because they pretty much lost all of that, and I don't think they lost even a single tower on definitely. So. Hopefully this time round, it looks like their comp is better and has actually got some winning lanes in it. So looking pretty good. And
it also asks the question of who do you send against the Sion, because obviously Rise notoriously good at pushing waves, very strong in a 1v1 as well. But Shen is the person you'd love to have in the side lane because of the fact that he can just use Stand United. But Sion is going to be able to lock him into that because obviously he can cancel the Stand United. Plus, it's the fact of he's just always going to be present. He's always going to be doing that. He's always going to be causing problems. And basically, Shen is going to have to sit with that Sion, and it may make it a little bit more tricky when those team fights do come around. So I really like this comp from Extreme. I'm looking forward to them absolutely popping off on the Rift as we do have the second pause after the initial pause because clients.
Prodigious.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I'm really excited for game 2. I hope you guys at home are as well, as we should be getting into this one very quickly. Who is going to win this one? Is it going to be definitely not taking it to 2-0, or Extreme going to bring us to game 3?
Well, I gotta say, on the side of definitely, they do have 2 lanes with really good gank setup. Rek'Sai can go to top and mid, but at the same time, if you go to top, you gotta burst through the Sion, who once he gets a couple items, it's going to be so much higher. And I am focusing on this Sion because it is probably my favorite pick. Maybe I should stop talking about it slightly, but if it has that late game impact, it'll be worth it. Another thing to note is all bot liners have taken cookies this time around. It is just cookies and milk all around. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, they're preparing for Santa in it. Go get themselves ready for that one. As hopefully,
that's why it took so long. They were waiting.
They're all hoping for a present in it. They're all hoping for the present of the win, and we'll see who is going to be the one that gets it, and who's going to get the coal, and not potentially go out of the tournament if it is going to be Extreme who lose this game. But setting up a little bit different here. Chaos is going to start on the top side. I will say Echo normally on a red side start, but you can actually just go either. It's not going to really be too detrimental to him.
Yeah, definitely. Some people like to go for the more mana hungry side. Like they like to spam abilities more, so maybe they'll favor the blue. But looks like they're both clearing to bot side. Both of them going blue smite early on. Good thing to note. Obviously, the slow very important to Rek'Sai. Pretty important to the Echo being able to get them to stay in her W, so she can actually get that stun off. Rise also starting with a tier. Some might say that's slight disrespect. I would rather see the crystal start so you can reset and get the. That's an aggressive pathing.
Okay, Dargod has gone very deep there with the Karma stepping forward, and now it's going to be a bit of a rich one. It's an early first blood, and Tay now in a lot of trouble as well. Going to get frozen up, and this could be 2-0 for the Ezreal immediately off the start. But also a minion. Oh, she was everything. Could have had it there, but it's not going to be able to pick that one up.
Yeah, that's massive. Honestly, I thought this NF Calmelion had so much poke, but you saw them. They were clearing the wards. Like, so you cleared the wards, but you put yourself in a bad position when clearing the wards. You should have cleared it from the other side and just gave away so much pressure. Oh, that damage. I think Karma's saying here is maybe just a little bit greedy, but it's okay. But that's so many sums burn on both sides. Hopefully jungle, because they're both clearing down the bot side, can maybe get something back for the side of Definitely. But that is a crazy wave crash and a tier straight away for Ezreal.
Yeah, immediately. Not what you want to see if you definitely not what we saw in game one. So we'll see if they can correct that one. Obviously, Dargod going down early, not going to be the best start for them. We will see, as you said, if the Rek'Sai can impact that. As Chaos now looking for a gank in the mid lane with a Braum there as well.
Yeah, I don't know if they can actually get anything onto this Rose, but the wave is pushing against him, so...
And here they go. Parallel Convergence is going to come out, but Kata going to be able to get away. Most of it's going over the wall. We'll be able to get a bit more damage as they do hit the slow, but it's not going to be enough to really lock them down.
Yeah, I mean, out of all that, it was a nice run from Braum, but the Ezreal's just getting pushed off the wave. He's going to crash into him, but Rek'Sai looking for... No, okay, never mind. Yeah, I mean, if it ends in a kill, it would be nice, but it looks like they might be able to catch Braum out here on the rotation back.
Yeah, Rek'Sai going very aggressive there. Will flash forward. He's going to be able to get quite a lot of damage down to Pui, and he's trying to get away. Tay is going to take the kill. A little bit questionable there. I don't know if you would have really just liked to give that over to the Rek'Sai. Braum had no flash, no way to get away, and was super low, but maybe they're going to force a dive as well, as Ezreal now on his own underneath this tower. She was definitely could be in trouble, but the TP there is going to dissuade them from further action.
It's double TP as well.
Oh, and saying that, they're going to go aggressive, actually. Oh, flash over the wall does not occur. Mosa straight into the wall and will not be able to get any more aggressive than that.
Yeah, the double TP may be a bit aggressive. Look at the wave that Graves is missing mid, and I think Shen does have a freeze against the Sion. Yeah, so Sion going to miss a lot for that TP down. Yes, you said the Ezreal, but I'm pretty sure you lose more than 300 gold of resources across. And is he going to go down anyway?
Back in lane, Chaos is here. He's going to flash forward, going to be able to look down Tay. That's a quick pickup, but here comes the TP. In goes Kata, who is going to get stunned, although good dodge to the side keeps them up, and Chaos will fall.
I mean, Rek'Sai getting his kill back. He really wanted that one. Maybe it would have been better to give it to the Rise so that he has this, well, an insane wave clear, because he is missing out on tower plates. I think Graves did get a tower plate in mid, so sort of evilizing the roams they did, but yeah, I mean, insanely well executed by the side of Definitely to really counter that again. And we say in the first game they did really well on these counter ganks and shining through again.
He's out in a bit of a trade of Balan. It's a level down, but doing pretty good. But you see the auto is going to be blocked there as Mosa and Kat are going to get into a bit of a fight as well. The overcharge doing quite a bit of damage as Mosa taking it pretty low. But here comes Tay. We'll get the slow down. The chains are going to be coming through. Locks them in with the root, and there's a pick up to the right.
I mean, great support time, Roman. A trick to any support solo queue players. If you gank from the top of mid lane, they don't normally expect it. So really well played. Graves playing towards that top side. Really just fighting over nothing. There was no minion wave there. They're just trying to get poke on each other. But Fries always knew that there was someone else coming, so really well played.
Yeah, and Karma right now role-playing Dora the Explorer, just making their way across the map. Is going to be on the top side where Chaos is going to walk straight in. And here comes Rise. They're looking for the lockdown now, but aggressive play there from Chaos is going to take Rise pretty low. Karma going low too. Flyon going to flash in and we'll pick up the kill. It's going to be traded over. How are you will fall, but 1 for 1.
Back end.
Not necessarily the worst. So they're saying that Balan now maybe in trouble, but not going to go down.
For a second, I thought the Rise was going to go down as well. I mean, super low HP at the start, but it's a 1 for 1 trade in the end, and maybe they'll be able to make something on the bot side. That it was more resources are definitely put in that top side, so if they can get this bot side, it's going to be insanely good for them.
Oh, Stand United going to be used early. Bui was looking for something, but they are going to have to walk away. No ult for the Misfortune, and over the wall they will go. But Flash Stun is going to be there. It was the taunt. Most are going to fall down, and an easy pickup from a Savage jungler.
Yeah, what an insane flash taunt. I mean, it sounds easy, but it was I was over a wall and everything. It was crazy.
But yet, though, she was everything trying to get away. As we said, Rek'Sai not going to have the best time trying to pick up the Ezreal, and she was everything trying to bait in more. But now going aggressive here, it's going to get knocked up and will take down. And Bui trying to get away. Will be able to jump to Chaos, but no further kills are going to go over to Extreme, who are not winning these early skirmishes. Definitely not, although a very shaky start, have definitely brought it back.
Yeah, even after that level 1 death, they've been able to collapse a lot. I think she was everything trying to make that a trade kill then, but...
Ooh, okay. Rek'Sai going very deep here. It's going to be knocked up by Chaos, but will they have the damage to finish them off? They're going to be able to tunnel away. Chaos now ignited, and the damage coming out from Tay and Dargod is going to be enough. It is going to be to pick them up. But Dargod going out to the tower didn't get autoed by anyone, though, so it will be a tower execute rather than a kill, as Mosa back again. Going to look for the damage onto the Karma, but not going to find it, as Kata able to lock them down, pushing some more damage their way, and that magic is really starting to hurt, and they will be able to walk out of that one, and with the execute, it doesn't mean a kill. So again, still going over the way of definitely not. And Rise taking a lot of damage there, but it's not going to be enough to pick up a kill. Almost finishing off point.
Yeah, I mean, crazy. I'm happy that the MF went down to an execute. I think if she stayed, if she like flashed out there, I think she would have just gone down anyway to the Ezreal. So better just to die to the tower. Just take it. You have no resources to get there, so it's fine. But for the most part, I think these roam timings from the Rise with their Rek'Sai have really been what's setting up, definitely getting back into that bot lane after that early loss.
Yeah, and Karma also being just everywhere on the map as well is pretty nice for them, as we do see the ultimate there used by Misfortune, but it's not going to come to any avail, and it's going to be pretty easy time for Graves just to walk away.
I wonder if we're going to see a play on this Drake here. Looks like they have set up some vision ready for it, but Rek'Sai is topside.
Indeed, and Pui now in a bit of trouble here. Kata getting quite a lot of damage down. They may not have enough. One more piece of damage will do it, and he does pick up the kill. And Tay going very aggressive here. Shen on the top side. They're going to get the lockdown onto Graves, but it's not going to be enough. The crowd damage just gets him far enough away, as Balan able to really hurt this Sion, forcing him out of lane and having a lot of pressure.
It's warded. No.
It is warded. The charge is going to be used. The unstoppable onslaught is going to get the Sion away.
Yeah, that's not the best way you want to use your ulti, but yeah, Shen really winning out on this. Yes, the CS difference is down, but he's able to win out on these short trades, really being able to push him out of lane. Sion has got probably not the item I would have gone with. Frozen Fist. I think Sunfire is just better on him. Maybe a slight choice error there. Sunfire does do insane damage on Sion, if anyone knows. One team fight, I think it can do like 5k or something stupid. But for the most part, I mean, it definitely have really just ramped up. This Karma pick, which we thought was probably not as good. Maybe I thought the Amumu would have been better. The movement speed that she's given to everyone is allowing them to chase down and get these kills and the pressure she has on these side lanes has been insane so far. So really showing big on this Karma.
Yeah, indeed, and it's definitely a strong pick. We'll have to see how it transitions into the later stages, because obviously Karma and the Rek'Sai are going to start to fall off. It's going to be lying on the shoulders of the Misfortune and the Rise. But so far, so good for them. Already got a 3k gold lead at that 10-minute mark. Most are now getting locked down. Karma once again. Will they find the damage, though? It is just going to go wide. And Karma not managing to finish off the kill either. Mosa just living. And it is going to be a good time for them finally getting some blessings on the side of Extreme.
Yeah, that's got to be 10 HP. I mean, I guess this Graves pick mid not as strong as we were expecting.
Yeah, not at the moment at least. I think once you get a couple of items, it starts to ramp up pretty heavy.
Yeah, but I think their flex was looking pretty good, but the Rise response has really stopped it so far. This Rise is showing up massive. I'm expecting maybe around more up as top side. Rek'Sai is pathing behind the Sion, so maybe we'll see a collapse on it. Now that the Drake has gone down.
Yeah.
It went down ages ago.
So far, like, the Sion, just doing Sion things, has managed to actually gain a level
Graves.
of advantage. And Graves, that would have been trouble. Good. Prowler's Claw does get the Rek'Sai on, but no knock-up, and it's just going to be enough damage. It's just too much. TP going to be coming through. Sion will join this fight. I don't know if he's going to be able to do too much, though. Gets knocked up. There's the True Shot Barrage over the top for Kata, but it's not going to be enough. Sion isn't going to be able to lock anyone down, and they get away.
Yeah, you can see the tankiness of the Sion now really shining through already. No one else can match him except from that Shen at this point. But then again, this Graves pick, he just died in lane, walked back to lane, died again. Not feeling too great on that. I mean, something's going to have to happen to be able to allow him to get some farm soon. Maybe you just have to sack a tower, but...
Oh, no, she was everything, tries to get away. Here comes the Shen, maybe a little bit overkill, but they pick up another kill in that bot side, and more pressure being given over to this Misfortune. As in the mid, we going to be getting the knock up there onto the Rise, who should be falling down. Although saying that, big pick onto the Echo is found, and Rek'Sai's able to get away. It was 1-for-1, but big turnaround in the 3v2.
Yeah, that Rise damage just really popping off. You can see he's completed his Mythic. I think he did that just before it, but either way, that spread damage just shredding through them. Echo not even able to get her ulti, his ulti off, before that happened. So, sort of unfortunate. Maybe a misplay by Chaos, but either way, insanely well played by the side of Definitely.
What more can they do? That's the question. They've got themselves ahead. They're snowballing up right now. They are about 4k in the lead, so it is still extending. And Tay, I don't think Tay has been in the lane at all this game.
Yeah, I think after that early play, he's just gone, well, don't worry about lane. I think it's like the solo queue strat. When your ADC dies once, you're like, oh, I'm out of here. See you next game. So he's just been roaming around the whole time, and the pressure he's applied has been insane. But Echo...
Oh, beautiful size there, breaking them ankles. Sion trying to find the unstoppable onslaught, but it will not land. Although saying that, big knock up there. The Decimating Smash will stop Bayland getting away, who does manage to get the Taunt. Now the tower doing quite a bit of damage to How Are You, but it will take them down. Although saying that, I'm talking nothing. It's crazy. Chaos is able to get away as well. How Are You with the shield survives. Maybe not for too long though, as Rise is going to join the party. Picks up one, now looking for two. Chaos trying to get away, does jump out, flashes away as well. And How Are You now going to just have a bit of auto damage onto Kata, which takes him about to half HP. As we caught out here by the Rek'Sai, is going to be ulted and just absolutely finished. Oh,
Okay. Tay just showing up massive on this support.
Tay is just George of the Jungle in this game, just literally everywhere and anywhere. It's pretty much playing with two junglers.
Yeah, I would like to say Extreme did really well to get that trade in the top spot, but oh no, Ezreal. Please survive.
Okay, trade City right now. Exhausted is going to give them the advantage, but it was a pretty much dead even trade as Mosa once again being ganked. The knockup lands. It's a taunt from Shen, and I don't think we've seen this mid lane without being a gank.
Yeah, I feel like this Graves has just been abused in this mid lane. Everyone's just there. Even the Shen now this time. Tay is literally pretty much just been sat there most of the game, and I don't think this Graves had a chance to even be in this game, but considering how much influence the rest of the map have had, not bad CS, to be fair.
Yeah, and it's not the craziest of leads. Admittedly, it is 5k at 15 minutes, 2 dragons up as well, but considering how much ganking, how much pressure, how many plays we've seen, you could maybe think it would be a little bit further forward. 15 minutes in, we are 15-5, which started 1-0, I will say.
Yeah, I mean, surprising turnaround that we've seen come out here. I honestly thought when that Ezreal got that first kill that lane was pretty much over, but through some clever pathings of junglers and mid laner, just be able to pull that back in, they've just turned that bot lane on its head, really.
Indeed, and top lane has been going pretty well as well. Even though How Are You was able to tank up that tower and survive, they picked up the kill onto the Shen. Overall, it's been going pretty well for the Shen. There's not been any craziness, although saying that, I might be casting him as now Mosa joining the party, but gonna auto the tower. The knockup does come through. The Rek'Sai picks up the kill onto the Graves, and now How Are You trying to finish this down, but the Proudest Call knockup is gonna buy him more time. The Flash Decimating Smash will pick up the kill. How Are You, however, is still going to fall, and Rise just come through to do a bit of damage as well, as Chaos now jumping forward is going to be ulted by the Misfortune. Glacial Fissure will stop the ult from occurring, as now she was everything looking to get a bit more damage onto the God.
Okay.
As Chaos trying to run away here will be able to get out, as Tay, I don't believe, had the damage just yet. Although Tay actually in a lot of trouble. He gets picked up by the tower, and now Pui in big trouble. Double kill to the God. Words do not describe how I'm feeling, because I have no idea how that went so badly for them.
The minions died. I think Chaos was tanking the tower, dashed out, and Ezreal walked into it at the same time, thinking that the tower was being tanked up. He took up the backside, and then... Oh, that's painful to see. Oh, that's so unfortunate. And look at this support. Like, oh.
And this is why this support diff is jungle diff. Okay, I'm just saying it right here, right now. A quick kill over to the Shen. In comes an OTP, but I don't know if they can have enough here. Mosa taking so much damage there. How Are You? Also, it's going to be tanking up a bit. We do see True Shot Barrage over the top, and a quick snipe from Misfortune kills off the Graves. They may have to walk away here, though, as more members are flooding in. Shen going to try and get away. Does get locked up, though, as the tower in the mid is going to fall down. Rice just quietly pushing, and I believe Shen might actually be able to get out of this one. And another play goes the way of definitely not washed up. They managed to get damage onto both the mid tier 1 and the tier 2. They'll take both of those down. They get damage onto the tier 2 into the top. They pick up multiple kills on the bot side, and there is just no response from Extreme.
I mean, I don't know how they can respond. Look at the level differences at this point. Mid 2 levels down, bot lane 2 levels down. It's looking insanely bad for Extreme, with such a good start that they had, and then it's just been flipped on its head through. At this point, that was a 4v3 down bot side. Rise and Rek'Sai were just pushing, living their best life, and you didn't even get the kills on the 3 members.
It's insanity. Misfortune is doing a lot of damage. We talked about that earlier, and it feels like Extreme are not expecting it, or they're just not really. They're just getting surprised each time, as Mosa once again being ganked. This time will survive, though. So fortunately, his luck maybe has turned a little bit, but that's kind of just been this whole story of the game. It just feels like every time we pan across to somewhere new, there's just a gank being had by Definitely Not.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look at this Rise just locking him up. I don't think he'd be able to kill, really. Actually, no, we have members come in. So.
The boys are here. Tay is there. Bayalan as well. It's just the whole squad in the top side, and How Are You is not going to have a good time. Although saying that, Karma could be in trouble here. The Shen is going to use the ultimate. Gets taken away, and it will keep Tay alive, as Mosa was trying to close down the distance. Oh God, now in a bit of trouble here though, as she was everything is going to step forward, but there's the ultimate over the top, takes them down. Pui will get the knockup, but will fall swiftly after that, as Shen now in the middle of this fight. Going to try and pick up Mosa, who will run straight into the Pirate Queen herself. Another kill lockdown made to walk the plank. Right now the scoreboard for them is a bit blank, as Kata is going to try and chase down Chaos, who is not going to be too happy to see that Rise. Will ult back straight into the Shen, and that is another one sent to the base.
I mean, crazy, insanely well played by the MF there. If it didn't spot what she did, she just waited out the Braum shield, then ulted. You'd say it's not insane, but honestly, at this point, with the pressures that they're under, you know, you're talking prize pool coming up, 500 gold, 500, you know, sort of worried. So insanely well done to hold that back, get that kill, and so far definitely just not really having. Okay.
Sion able to get the kill there. Tower assist. Very nice. Shendy come through. Will have to walk away. So, picking up a kill. We'll say Dragon being taken here. It should be the third. And it's going to be another Ocean Soul for definitely. So, they're making it rain on this map. Not just in the money, but also with the Dragons. And we kind of predicted Sion to be a bit of a problem. But hasn't had the chance. Literally, everyone has been in the game. They've been able to control the map. And they've basically just been able to shut down all attempts at anything as the taunt comes through. The damage is there. Miss Fortune just absolutely shredding them. Triple kill in the mid lane. And I believe that is an FF. We do see the end of that game. Extreme are going to lose that one. Definitely not going to pick up the 2-0 victory in a very spectacular fashion.
Yeah, I mean, both games 20 minutes. This one, obviously, due to the FF, but I'm definitely looking insanely well. You got to think, going into this Extreme, taking down some of the top teams. Do you think now, with the way that definitely have been playing, if these teams be like, surely these are finals contenders here. Surely, like, based off of the games that we've seen today, I mean, they were popping off in every lane. I don't think that there was a lane that they lost really, and a crazy impact. And I will say this game was heavily impacted because they must have been listening to the best world song there ever was, Rise, the whole time.
Yeah, indeed. And I wish I had a better mustache, because I just want to say, well, that escalated quickly, because truly it's exactly how I felt in this game. It was going fine. The game was normal. Okay, we had a bit of an early skirmish in the start of this game, and it was picking up a lot of tempo, and I was like, okay, it's just early, we'll probably have a lull, we'll probably have a bit of a downtime. Gizmo will talk for about 5 minutes, I can just relax until the late game. And then it was just like, no, every time you see the camera move, it's a fight. It's just fight here, fight there. It felt like I was Oprah Winfrey at one point. It's just like, you get a fight, you get a kill, big pentakill for you. Like, it was just kind of mad on the Rift, but either way, it was super fun to watch, and definitely have potentially struck a lot of fear into other teams, because they are looking super strong. MVP vote is up now, so let us know who you think was the MVP for these games. It's numbers 1 to 5 that it will be top all the way down to the support.
I'm interested. Who do you think is the MVP of this one? Because
I think it's got to be Tay in game 2. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Tay was literally everywhere. Like, okay, really questionable play, level 1, like the positioning.
that's fine. It's forgiven.
But
it's fine.
I forgot about that, because Tay was top lane, was mid lane, was bot lane. I was like, are we just watching new meta? Is it just 2 junglers, 3 laners? What's happening here? Because Rek'Sai would appear, but then Tay would appear over there, and it was just like, you're playing Karma. You're not even playing a champ that's supposed to be roaming like this. If you were playing Pyke, I'd understand it, but it was madness.
Might support next. Honestly, yeah, across the whole map. Overall, over the series, I'd have to give it to the jungler across the whole thing. But I think in this game, it was quite clearly Tay just being wherever you want. And I thought that the Karma pick wouldn't have been the best going into this game, thinking that I would have preferred Namumu, but proved me wrong. I mean, this Karma being able to land those point-click routes in this game, just giving away so much pressure. I mean, yes, they camped mid, and it is a Graves, but at the same time, this Karma, they had a bad early game start and still were able to have such a massive impact on that team.
Yeah, and massive is just, like, I don't even know if that's the right word. Like, it was actually just insane how much they were able to really do on the Rift. And I big shout out to the jungler as well. Like, admittedly, your name is quite hard for me to say. I'm British.
Yeah,
there's a lot of.
I'm dyslexic, so don't worry.
That I don't understand. So I really apologize for not saying your name. I could try, but I think I'll just mess it up. So, unless, like, one day I'll learn it phonetically. But a big shout out to you, because you actually smurfed it. Like, game 1, really great counter ganks, was everywhere that they needed to be, on point all the time. Game 2 just ruled the Rift, man. Was genuinely put on their crown, the queen of the Xerxai, the queen of the Rift. Rek'Sai just coming through absolutely disgusting. Like, every single time we saw mid, it was just Rek'Sai ganking the Graves, and it was just GG.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you think about Extreme, what position they were in, they drafted quite heavy scaling comps, and so far, I mean, look, they didn't even get that Ezreal online at this point. He did get the Man Immune, but he didn't get the Triforce, which is the pop-off of damage. I think he was going for Triforce. Maybe he was going for Divine Sundra, but that I'm not too sure. Either way, that's their big damage, right? And yes, they leaked a lot of gold across this mid lane, but as we said before, Graves, as soon as he gets a couple items, it doesn't really matter what his scoreline is. He's Yasuo in disguise. But for the most part, like, you know, they just turned up early and just destroyed them before the enemy comp could ever come online in both games, and it's so impressive to see, because going forward, we're looking to see them getting taken later and later against even harder opponents. But I thought this would be a coin flip both games. I was expecting, you know, the 3-game series, but we didn't get there. And that's so impressive to see at this point.
Yeah, and like, I have to go back to my guy. You know, if you don't know this meme, then you guys are missing out a lot. But roll safe, my guy. Yeah, you can't lose late game if you don't go to the late game. That's what I'm saying. That's what they're saying right here, because they had no option. The game was over before Baron is spawning. You know, like, how are you supposed to play late game when there is no late game? It's all early game for this team.
Yeah, I don't think they lost a single objective. I don't think they lost a tower either. So I think that was pretty clean. I mean, you'd say clean game. I mean, it's nearly a perfect game, right? Except for the few kills. It would have been a perfect game if they didn't die, especially in the first one. I think there was only one death. So, you know, pretty impressive to see that when they did die, they traded so heavily for it, except from that one early misstep. But, you know,
Yeah.
bot lane happens. You know, you can't expect those things.
We can forget about that. Like, they played so much better from that point on. It really is like, it's just one of those that I don't even remember that kill. You know,
You're just feeding them a kill to get that ego. You know, just
yeah.
take an early kill. Don't worry, we're fine.
Adds to the suspense. But I will say, MVP guys, someone drop a final vote in the jungle or the support, just so that we can actually like close that one out as someone actually won rather than splitting the vote. But I will say that's kind of near the end of the stream for us. Obviously, a bit of a shorter one because of the 2-0, the speed of the games that did come through, but definitely a good one. So hopefully the MVP is going to close. It is going to go to the support there, so we'll be over to Tay. Big performance from Tay. Like, obviously a huge play all day, so a big win for them. And yeah, it's been a really good stream. I hope you've had a lot of fun, Gizmo, because I had a lot of fun casting with you the first time we've duo together.
Yeah, it's been great, honestly. Hopefully we get some games in future. We have got the rest of the playoffs, so you never know.
Yeah, indeed. Hopefully I'll be back for a bit more, but we will have to see. And with that is going to be the end of the game, the end of the series, and the end of the stream today. So big shout out there from me to you guys in chat for coming through and putting on the support that you did. And obviously big shout out to both the teams that played today. Commiserations to Extreme, but obviously big pogs to the Definitely Not Washed Up squad. And any final words there from you, Gizmo?
I'm definitely not washed up is one to look out for. I'm expecting to see them in finals based off the recent performance. So, I mean, support them going forward. I mean, watch their games. It's going to be intense.
Yeah, definitely second that from me as well, because they were so good to watch. I want to see more of them. I definitely want to see them in the finals and stuff if possible. But that will be all from us. So big shout out to you guys as always. Obviously, it's goodbye from me. It's goodbye from Gizmo. It's goodbye from Void. And as always, CE, stay connected.
When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down.